Adrian Newey, the long-standing chief technical officer at Red Bull Racing, is officially set to depart from the team. He'll be shifting his focus away from design responsibilities to concentrate on completing Red Bull's RB17 hypercar project. And after wrapping up this project, Newey will be leaving the organization in the first quarter of 2025. Last week, reports surfaced hinting that Adrian Newey has decided to part ways with the team he joined back in 2006. His decision reportedly comes from discomfort with how the investigation and issues surrounding team boss Christian Horner unfolded at the beginning of the 2024 season. Despite Newey's concerns, the grievance was ultimately dismissed. Although Adrian Newey's contract with Red Bull was originally set to last until the end of the 2025 season, reports suggest that there's a clause in his contract allowing him to explore opportunities with other teams for the upcoming season. In the meantime, he will still be present at certain races this season before formally parting ways with Red Bull. Newey's future plans remain a secret at the moment, but he has garnered admiration from Ferrari for some time now, with the team making attempts to sign him back in 2014. Ferrari is reportedly interested in securing Newey's expertise once again. Aston Martin has also shown interest in acquiring Newey's services, having made a big money offer for his talents in March. This is because Lawrence Stroll has plans of making his son, Lance Stroll, an F1 champion. Adrian Newey himself has announced his departure from Red Bull Racing, stating that he feels the time is right to seek new challenges for himself. In a heartwarming farewell to the team he loved, he said, "Ever since I was a young boy, I wanted to be a designer of fast cars. My dream was to be an engineer in Formula One, and I've been lucky enough to make that dream a reality. For almost 2 decades, it has been my greatest honor to have played a key role in Red Bull Racing's progress from upstart newcomer to multiple title-winning team. However, I feel now is an opportune moment to hand that baton over to others and to seek new challenges for myself. In the interim, the final stages of development of RB17 are upon us, so for the remainder of my time with the team, my focus will lie there. I would like to thank the many amazing people I have worked with at Red Bull in our journey over the last 18 years for their talent, dedication, and hard work. It has been a real privilege, and I am confident that the engineering team are well prepared for the work going into the final evolution of the car under the 4-year period of this regulation set. On a personal note, I would also like to thank the shareholders, the late Dietrich Mateschitz, Mark Mateschitz, and Shalom Uvidia for their unwavering support during my time at Red Bull, and Christian, who has not only been my business partner, but also a friend of our respective families. Also, thanks to Oliver Mintzlaff for his stewardship, and Eddie Jordan, my close friend and manager. Max Verstappen's father, Jos Verstappen, didn't waste any time stirring the pot. He said that Red Bull Racing will face challenges, or could even fall apart following Newey's departure from the Formula One team. The recent disturbances within Red Bull Racing have led to speculations about Max Verstappen potentially leaving the team, despite a strong performance on track that could see him win a 4th World Championship with Red Bull. Verstappen has expressed loyalty to his father and advisor Helmut Marko. Now, Jos Verstappen has voiced renewed concerns about Red Bull's future, as reported by De Telegraph. The team is in danger of falling apart. I was afraid of that earlier this year. For internal peace, it is important that key people stay on board. That is not the case now. Newey is leaving, and earlier this year, it also looked like Helmut would be sent away. For the future, that is not good. There's speculation circulating that Adrian Newey might join Ferrari in his next career move, possibly to pair up with Lewis Hamilton in an effort to challenge Max Verstappen in Red Bull Racing. In an exclusive interview with Racing News 365, former racing driver Mike Hezemans commented on the loss that Red Bull Racing is facing with Newey's departure. It was to be expected that he would leave, after all the rumblings at the team due to the power struggle, he said. I think it's a loss anyway. The man obviously has so much experience. I think that man is very good at indicating to people what they shouldn't do, rather than what they should do. He has so much experience, and of course there are a lot of very good young people in aerodynamics. They may want to go in one direction, but Newey has so much experience that he says, wait a minute, I tried to go in that direction 20 years ago. You shouldn't waste your time on that. And I think that's a very important factor for any future team he goes to. Regarding Red Bull not having Adrian Newey on board for constructing the 2026 car under new regulations, Mike Hezemans said, I think that could be quite a loss. Pierre Wash is obviously very good, but it's a bit like Dietrich Mateschitz was at Red Bull and Jean Todt was at Ferrari. A protagonist is leaving. Red Bull will now play a bit of the game in the media that he might not bring as much now, but I still think he brings a lot. Hesimans also let his opinion known on where he thinks Adrian Newey will end up, saying, "I personally think he will go to Ferrari, and then you will see that Ferrari will have a lot to gain from that, even if it's just for the whole atmosphere and everything around him that everyone will do just a little bit better." And with Newey and Lewis Hamilton, then everybody starts saying, "Oh wow, now Verstappen can start having a problem." The whole feeling you bring with you then, that's really super important. That's of course with all the English. Those English never get off the island. He will be there a lot in the beginning anyway. I very much believe that. Newey will want to be there for weeks or months at Ferrari anyway. I think he very much wants it, Hesimans continued. I think he once gave an interview, a few years ago, that it never came about, and that it's actually a missed opportunity. In the end, every driver, or at least those who have also become world champions, would like to drive at Ferrari, and surely I also think that Newey eventually wants to go to Ferrari. With Lewis Hamilton joining Scuderia Ferrari in 2025, his role becomes pivotal in the Formula One landscape. As a 7-time world champion, Hamilton brings immense experience, skill, and leadership to Ferrari. His partnership with Adrian Newey, if it materializes, could be a game-changer, potentially strengthening Ferrari's competitive position and challenging Red Bull Racing and other top teams. On this possibility, Hesimans said, "I think he is very keen to work with Lewis. Sure, 100% for sure. I think he has a very good relationship with Max, but of course he would also be quite happy to beat Max with a Ferrari and with Lewis. Then I think the guy is also like, hey, look what I can do." At first, it appeared unlikely that Adrian Newey would join another team. At 65 years old, completing his current contract and a year of gardening leave would mean he'd be 68 by the time he could start working with a new team. But at this point, there's no clear direction on where Adrian Newey might be heading next. By the looks of things, it seems that Adrian Newey and Red Bull have reached mutually agreeable terms that would allow Newey to become a free agent in the team market sooner than originally expected. This suggests a positive relationship between Newey and Red Bull, providing him with the flexibility to pursue opportunities in Formula One, if he chooses to continue working in the sport. Adrian Newey's decision to step back immediately from direct involvement with the F1 team signals the start of his gardening leave period. Although he will be present at a few select Grands Prix this season, such as the upcoming Miami Grand Prix, this won't reset the timer for his gardening leave. As Martin Brundle mentioned earlier this week, teams with the funds and resource will have been courting Adrian Newey for a while. If and when he becomes available, it's a double whammy for any team. They'll have access to his experience and genius, and it stops another team having him. What do you think? How will Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull affect the Formula One landscape in the coming years? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.